Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I want to talk about another kind of narcissistic behavior. Just because they have the behavior doesn't mean they have the disorder, and just because they have the disorder doesn't mean they have the behavior. One size doesn't fit all anyway. So, and read the disclaimer below this video on YouTube. I haven't said that in a while. But it's always there. Anyway, this is when they are rather arrogant. A person's rather arrogant or haughty. Haughty is kind of hard to describe to me. It's like they're superior and they're disdainful. They're looking down at you. And this is on their attitudes and behaviors. Okay, now in this one, I could say that sometimes, to me, it's something similar to what a histrionic behavior too, kind of theatrical. Let me give an example, and a little bit of humor with it, a little bit. Say the person, you meet a person for the first time, and that person's basically has their nose in the air. We used to call it, they're so snobby that you can tell because their nose is scraping the ceiling. But yeah, think of them as having their nose in the air, and maybe even that little pinky out, you know what I'm saying, the little pinky sticking out. And they're basically do look like they're trying to look down on you, literally and figuratively. And their whole behavior is that they are superior. Now, from what you know of them, or maybe it's somebody you do know, there's no reason for them to think that. And say they think they're superior in some discussion you're having. And what you hear from them, say you are a voice of authority on that, and what you hear from them is way off. And there's no reality to it. Okay, I was thinking about this one the other day. It wasn't anything directed toward me. I wasn't even in the situation, but I saw it. It was this kind of behavior, and the person actually did not seem to have any kind of base to what they were saying and why they felt that way about themselves. So it was a woman, actually. Now, when you think about it, what it made me think about, and this is one of those iffy kind of things. Now, if you have somebody who is, you see acting superior, elitist, snobbish, to everybody else, does it matter to you? Do you think that they would even somebody who is obviously inferior in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Do you think that it's any different? Would you sum it up in your head, like say somebody who it shows that they are not superior in whatever it is? Would you think would you diagnose it more as someone who is narcissistic, or would you diagnose it more as an inferiority complex, which some would say, when you're arrogant, when you feel superior, the superiority complex is actually masking an inferiority complex? Or would you sum it up some other way other than that? I would, some of them, because one size doesn't fit all. But, somebody feeling inferior because they were made to feel inferior, which some would say is the same thing with people who are narcissistic. If that makes any sense at all. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying. How would you do it? Would you say think that anybody who does that is narcissistic all around? So, now one of the reasons why the main reasons I feel it's kind of histrionic is because they are being some of them are rather theatrical with it. Like they're on stage, they want to point out that they are this way. And that's why I would see it, that's the main reason actually why I would see it as rather histrionic in behavior also. But they can cross over and share the same kind of symptoms or behaviors or whatever. They can cross, to one another, can be the same. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I meant to say there. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Okay, and another thing that came up that I was thinking about at the time was, does size of the person matter to you? How more convincing would the person be if they were, say, an average size person? Now, whatever you think is average size, yeah, go with that. I'm not going to make any statement of what is average size or not. Or how about too skinny or too big, too obese. And that's up to you to define in your own mind on how you see it. But does that matter? What if it was a, very nice looking person, very handsome or very beautiful, and they were acting like they were superior? Would it matter to you, really, on how much you believe that they are this voice of authority? Yeah, that one came to my mind. I had to think about that, seriously. Right, I think that's enough for this topic for now. I'm not doing it bring it up in another video. I'm going to do a list of all the symptoms as I know them. I think there are 9. I don't think I'd call them symptoms, or maybe they are symptoms, or criteria that they meet 5 out of the 9. At least it was in the DSM-IV, I think. But I'm going to do a video on each one and how I see it. I'm not, a professional counselor or anything. So, like I said, read the disclaimer below this video on YouTube. Anyway, I'll wrap it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle that should be popping up. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click one of the rectangles. Like it, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.